The Backyard Woodshop.
Hi, welcome back to the Backyard Woodshop. I'm Tom Ryder. Today we've got a quick little project I've been wanting to do, and that's make a zero clearance insert for my miter saw. This is a standard Hitachi 12-inch dual bevel. A lot of people have these. This is the C12 RSH. It's a fantastic saw, and I've only seen John Heiss make a zero clearance insert for this saw. Mine's going to be a bit different than his, so if you want to find out how to do it, make one for your saw, stay tuned.
Here I'm going to use painter's tape to connect the two sides of the factory insert to make one solid piece that I can use to trace a pattern for my new zero clearance insert. Here I'm just removing the plastic saw blade guide that helps direct sawdust to the dust collection. It's just a simple taking out the screw and setting it aside, and that'll make it easier to get out the factory insert and also to put in the new wooden insert. It just makes it a lot easier with that piece out of the way. Here I'm removing the final screw, that way I can take out the factory insert, and now with the blue tape's connecting them both, I have a perfect pattern. Here I'm just going to go around with a pencil, trace out the pattern so that I can make a wooden template. I just went ahead and finished the template off camera. I'll show how I use it, but it's just simply cutting it out on the bandsaw, sanding it to finish, and drilling the holes for the bolts.
Once you've cut out your pattern, after you've traced it out, you just want to cut it, sand it, and then test it for fit. And it should just drop right in there and not be really tight. This one is just a template, so it's not going to be flush with the top. So how you get these exact placements for these holes is I took and just put a little bit of paint on top of these and hurried up and set it down on top of them, pressed it for a moment, took my screwdriver, lifted them back out, and then you get on the underside, you get exactly where those holes are. Once you've got your pattern, then you need material for your insert. This is just 1/2-inch plywood that I bought at Home Depot, and it's not truly a 1/2 inch, it's just a 1/16 shy, and it's like 19/32. So that is actually a perfectly flush fit for the saw, which is just by chance works out great. And then you got where your holes are. I use those to put in some 3/4 inch screws, and then you will be able to hold your patterns down for the router table.
Here I'm just going to use my bandsaw to roughly cut down close to the template, and that way it's less stress on my router bit, and the bandsaw makes quick work of this. And as you can see, I just have a little bit of material to take away.
So once you've got your pattern all cut out, one of the really nice things here is that where I set my screws in, mark the dead center of these holes, and because you need a stepped hole a little bit bigger on this outside and then smaller, the smaller hole is 7/32, and then the large hole is a 1/2 inch. So what I like to do is take my pattern off, drill my 1/2 inch holes first, about a 1/4 inch in, roughly, a 1/4 inch down, and then finish the hole with the 7/32. Now that you've got your insert cut and fit, the holes drilled, you just got to put the screws in. And then once you tighten that down, that's what brings the top flush. So the final step is to cut the slot in the zero clearance. And there it is. The other thing you want to do is there's this little plastic guide. It's a lot easier to take the wooden ones in and out if you remove that for each time. So there is a little bit of an extra step there. You can get it out, but it's just a lot easier to take one screw out and move this piece of plastic. Now our plastic piece is back installed. The saw is back to normal. The only nice thing is now when I cut plywood, I shouldn't have... I have a nice clean edge right there. It's not frayed and torn up like it has been in the past, so that zero clearance is really doing its job. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you learned how to make a zero clearance insert for your miter saw. That little tape trick, pulling that pattern out, that's the way to go to get the shape for these Hitachis. But I'm sure whatever brand saw you have, you could do the same thing with it. So thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. And until the next time, I see you in the backyard.